Hi everyone. Good day. You're welcome to another session with your SAP consultant, Kelechi. Hope you're having a nice time at work and in life. Now, today we're going to be seeing another very important topic in SAP. I've had a lot of feedback or queries about what these concepts on my screen actually, what these concepts are. So we're going to just use a few minutes today to look at what these concepts are in SAP. For those who are new to SAP, for those who are actually old but have not had the time to actually look deeper into this concept, and for those who are aspiring to be SAP consultants, indeed, for knowledge sake. So we're going to look at these concepts in SAP, we're going to try to explain them, and we're going to see how SAP has also evolved over the years. So why not? You can please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can share. It's important that you share the knowledge. And why not? You can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to be looking at SAP ECC, S4HANA, and the SAP Fiori App. What are these concepts basically? We see them everywhere, especially those who are interested in SAP. We know them, but let's see how we can really look at them in terms of trying to know what they really are, trying to understand these concepts. These are terminologies in SAP that you would always, meet as long as you're joining into the SAP space. Once again, my name is Kelechi, and let's go and see what these concepts are. So before we move into ECC, let's look at the concept of SAP R3. What is SAP R3? Okay, so SAP R3 is SAP ECC's predecessor, and some companies still run on R3. So its core, R3 uses a client-server model to store, retrieve, analyze, and process data, while SAP ECC runs on a web-based application server. Users can now access ERP data through web browsers, as well as clients, of course, what we call the SAP GUI. Okay. Now, basically, before ECC, there was actually a software that SAP normally, where you can actually run your SAP system from. It was actually called R3, which has actually which SAP has actually changed that name from R3 to ECC. Now, basically, if you go through the history, R3 was actually a financial software package, which was called ROF in 1973, followed by, of course, finance is always the core of every software package, because every software will have to run through the finance module at its core, which is the general ledgers. Basically, before ECC, R3 was actually in existence, and you also understand that SAP has evolved over the years, and we would see how that evolution has actually happened. So ECC began as a financial software package called RF in 1973, followed by, of course, we had modules that came up. After the finance module, we had the materials management module, which was called RM1. As SAP added additional components, the package was renamed to R1. So you can see that it started from finance package to move into the MM module. The name was changed to R1. In 1979, R2 was released to integrate accounting, manufacturing, and supply chain logistics and HR. So it started with finance, it moved into the MM module. However, of course, due to increased business activities, need for integration, need to harmonize business operations. An RO3 module was released to actually integrate these four core modules in any business: finance, manufacturing, logistics, which is part of MM, and SD, and you have HR, which is the human resource part or human capital development part. That was RO2. In 1992, RO3 was released to support various operating systems and database. So as at this time, we're looking at other operating systems to be able to support the RO3, the SAP software. So that was when RO3 was released. So RO3 basically was the software that was existing that had the core modules and also supporting other operating systems, of course, like the IBMs, the Oracle databases. In 2004, SAP renamed it to SAP ECC. So that's actually a very good information. So basically, as somebody who is trying to gain more knowledge, or someone who really wants to understand SAP, you need to understand how this evolution has happened over the years. So basically, in 2004, SAP renamed it to SAP ECC, which you can use interchangeably as SAP ERP. So it was RO3 that was existing up until 2004 when it was renamed to SAP ECC. In the next slide, we're going to see also how ECC has fared over the years and different versions that have come up: EHP 6, EHP 7, different versions of ECC, and also, of course, the newest version, which is S4HANA, and some other changes. So I hope you have learned a little bit about how SAP software evolved, where we are now. So basically, RO3 was what was in vogue, and the name was changed, of course, sometime in 2004. So let's go and see what the next phase of this evolution. So we have always heard of the word ECC, ECC, ECC in SAP. Now, SAP ECC stands for SAP ERP Central Component. It is also known as the SAP ERP Enterprise Resource Planning. It is one of SAP's legacy applications that originally designed to operate on a third-party database such as Oracle and IBM database too. So basically, ECC was designed. Remember the evolution from RO3, which was able to support other databases. ECC also followed that path. So it was designed to operate on third-party database like the Oracle database and the IBM. SAP ECC is the system that most companies have. Up until now, in 2022, most companies have started migrating into the S4HANA platform, but we still have a lot more companies that still run on this ECC database or ECC software. And most companies have and are familiar with because it includes the more commonly used modules: finance, HR, housing and logistics, plant maintenance, and the rest of them. SAP ECC also has modules such as production planning, materials management, plant maintenance for manufacturers, and a lot more. I might not be able to call out here. Okay, so that's the beauty of ECC. Really, ECC was a breaker for SAP. Now, SAP ECC is the core product within SAP Business Suite and should not be confused with the SAP Business Suite. Okay, so there are two different applications. The SAP Business Suite goes beyond the foundational modules and supports specialized or complex functions such as supply chain management, customer relationship management. Of course, that is Business Suite is actually a very core application in SAP. Like it said, it goes beyond just the core operations. You have some business scenarios that require a little bit more functionality, especially in the finance space. You have things like bank management system, you have treasury management. So these are other core functionalities that transcends just the finance model. Okay, so the business suite has actually it's actually an application that is used to handle those extra functionalities. Similar to SAP ECC, SAP Business Suite can run on third-party database, of course, the SQLs, the IBMs, and of course, it can run on the new baby called the S4HANA. So I hope you have learned something about what ECC is, what it's the third-party applications, the database it can run on, modules that it supports, and how it has also evolved over time. So let's see the next topic. Now, we have come to the newest version of SAP, which is called SAP HANA. Okay, so SAP HANA is one of SAP's core software that actually supports a lot of cloud service, of course, which is very, very important for in recent time. Businesses would want to operate from anywhere in the world and have access to financial information and try to make financial decisions from anywhere. So the HANA database have really put in place to not just manage businesses, but try to transform the way businesses are done. Now, HANA is an in-memory columnar database designed to accelerate SAP apps and business processes that were released in 2010. So it's a little bit faster, it is smarter, does a lot of analysis. I mean, it's intelligent. So let's really look for, every organization now should look forward to moving into the S4HANA platform. SAP HANA is now the foundation for running SAP Business Suite. Remember, before now, it was run on third-party databases, but now it is the foundation. It is in-memory and column-oriented database. So basically, in our next videos, concept of in-memory, how it actually runs on your RAM, and some other core and technical areas will be explained further. This is just to give you an introduction and let you know how this software is, how SAP has actually evolved over the years. It is simplified. It has a simplified data structure. Of course, performance is improved to increase productivity, real-time visibility, take advantage of the very, very recent drive for data. Data has been accumulated over the years by businesses. The problem with businesses is not data. The problem with businesses right now is actually how to analyze data, because the competition, the customer preferences have all changed. There is need to look further into data to be able to provide solutions to a lot of business problems. Now, it was created so companies can react to up-to-the-minute data instead of static quarterly reports. So, like I said, it's fast. You can make decisions on the go. You can access data from anywhere in the world, on any device, actually. We're going to look at the Fiori app as we move on. Now, S4HANA, which is like your easy access, which is your presentation screen. S4HANA is designed to solve complex problems and manage larger amount of data than ECC and R3. So it's lighter, but it can in memory, it can store, it can manage a lot more data and actually do a lot of analysis with those data. It provides a better user experience with SAP Fiori and makes a shift from transactional system that records data to real-time data from internal and external sources. So it's a functional shift, a transactional shift from the way SAP usually records its transactions. So that shift is getting towards giving you real-time data, both internal and external. So hope you have learned something about the S4HANA, how the system has evolved, how it's trying, SAP is trying to move along with the time and the seasons, how it's trying to provide more support for businesses, strategic support, functional support, technical support. How we don't just, SAP basically don't just want to have softwares, we want to have softwares that can businesses make key and core decisions on time. So that's SAP S4HANA has actually come to bridge that gap. So we've talked about HANA. We've seen that HANA is the database where the business suites lie. Now, what is S4HANA? Because HANA is different from S4. Okay, so just as we had R3, we had ECC. S4HANA is the fourth version of the SAP business suite. SAP rebuilt SAP ECC from ground up. So there was a total restructuring of how SAP used to work to create SAP S4HANA in 2015 to take advantage of the SAP HANA's performance and data analytics capabilities. So there was a total restructuring of how ECC used to work. That is a big benefit and a big drawback. So we're going to see how that is. S4HANA can exclusively run on SAP HANA, while ECC can run on third-party database. So S4HANA can run on only SAP HANA database, because while the ECC can actually run, like we have seen, on Oracle or IBM's database. S4HANA is designed to solve complex problems, business problems, financial problems, logistics problems, and manage larger amounts of data than ECC and R3 could do. So it's a major boost and a major plus for businesses, and businesses are encouraged to move into the S4HANA platform. It provides a better user experience with Fiori App and makes a shift from transactional systems that record data. Of course, we have actually seen how this shift has happened from ECC to the S4HANA platform. So we have learned now that while HANA is the database for which S4HANA runs on, ECC is also the presentation layer and it runs on other third-party. We've also seen that this was done, the restructuring of ECC was done from ground up to give us a new software called S4HANA. And of course, businesses have begun to migrate from the ECC platform to take advantage of the benefits that S4HANA actually has made available. Okay, so let's look at one of the major achievements of the S4HANA software is the introduction of Fiori. And this is actually one of the major advantages SAP has over other softwares in the market. Now, Fiori is very beautiful, it's smart, it's fast, it's on the go. You have access to a lot of tiles, or what we call tiles, it's called a tab. You can search for data easily, unlike the ECC platform where you have to go through the easy access and access all your data. With the Fiori, you just search and information is gotten in the go, and it's fast and it's smart. So let's talk about the Fiori. and what it's about in SAP. So you just get to know this major innovation that SAP has brought into its space. Now, Fiori is a streamlined application delivering a role-based user experience that can be personalized across all lines of business, apps, and devices. So it's a role-based user experience. So let's say in an organization, you're in finance, you can Fiori can be designed to give you finance functionalities depending on your roles. It uses styles to encapsulate standard tasks like viewing sales orders and approving timesheets. So it makes life, it makes navigation, it makes the experience a whole lot easier and simpler. Simplicity and access to data is a core of what the Fiori app represents. Based on user input, SAP devised the SAP Fiori user experience, user friendliness, and ease to use in mind. I can assure you that yes, an experience with the Fiori app has really changed the way ERP is run. It has simplified the process. It has introduced a lot of analytics. And it has made ERP look like it's more software basically. The experience is wow. The user experience also provides mobile deployment capabilities so users can work without needing access to computers. So you can have access to your SAP, VI Fiori, or your mobile devices too. So that's a major advancement. So in case you hear the word Fiori, it's just an app that is used to access your SAP from anywhere, any device. And also it has streamlined the process, it has given it a role-based experience, and it has made navigation and access to your SAP system easier and friendly. So let's look at some of the benefits of the Fiori app. One is simplification, because it's now easier for users to navigate through. Use that functionality where you have to, for example, in ECC, go through the easy access or use transaction codes. Here you can just search for the tile and gives you access to it, and you can click on it and you can second, it has increased user satisfaction. I can say yes. I mean, once users find it easier to use and navigate, because that's one of the major issues with ECC. It's complained that navigation through ECC was very difficult. So, I mean, now it has changed the way navigation works. They also don't need to call, I mean, you don't need to, once you have access to Fiori app and you can navigate through, just showing you around, you don't need so much support to actually navigate your way, find your way through, run around in SAP. Okay, and next is mobile access to data. So like we have said initially, you can access data from mobile devices. It is secured, it is fast. These styles are easy to use. Fiori also harmonizes the look and feel, so it looks beautiful, it looks easy, it looks, the experience is wonderful using the Fiori app. If you had actually tried to use the ECC before, you appreciate the Fiori app a lot more. So what's the difference between HANA and S4HANA? What is the difference? It's simple, S4HANA is the ERP system like ECC, while SAP HANA is a database. So it's easy. HANA is the database that most users will not see. What they see is actually the S4HANA, which is like the presentation layer where you can log into your system, giving username and passwords, you enter into the system and do your work. That is what S4HANA is. Why the HANA is the database that stores most of the information that are entered into the S4HANA, just like the ECC. So that's the difference. Okay, so this has taken us to the end of this session. I hope you have learned basically some of the concepts you get to see every day. For me, it was when I was getting into SAP, these things were really confusing. So I've actually tried to use this video to try and make it simple, try and inform. So I mean, when you go through it and you're coming to the SAP space, you actually know what these concepts are actually all about. You can, why not, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the information around the world on any platform you find it. And in case you need more information, training, you want to go do your certifications, you want to know more about SAP, you can send me an email, or you can give me a WhatsApp or call the number on the screen. Thank you very much for finding time to view this video. However, in our next session, we're going to be looking at how do we enter data on both ECC and S4HANA. So the essence is for you to appreciate how simple or how SAP has been able to transform the way transactions are being entered. So we're going to do a demonstration of how you can enter a master data in ECC, finance module, and how you can enter a master data in S4HANA. Then, I mean, you can choose, then you can appreciate how SAP has actually transformed how the system works. So look out for this video. We'll have that in the next session. So thank you very much for viewing, and stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.